What's good, y'all boys? I know it took forever, but finally finished my Japan vlog. So, thanks for waiting. Now, in this vlog, I'm just gonna cover most of the things I did in Japan. I didn't get to record everything because I was living in the moment a lot. Also didn't get too much food content, so sorry from now, but time to get into it, so here we go. Now, I'm not no vlogger, so if this shit ass, I'm sorry, y'all boys. But anyway, so to start off my journey, I landed in Osaka, and I had to catch a train all the way to Kyoto because most of my trip was going to be there. I decided not to do Tokyo because I wanted to be more in the rural and traditional places of Japan and less of the touristy stuff. I know y'all see my Yen and Suica card. I'm stamped for real in the hood now. So now here's my view on the train ride to Kyoto. I really do love the architecture in Japan, as well as how scenic public transportation can be. It was one of my favorite moments of traveling through the whole trip, just getting to see the traditional homes and everything like that, and the different skyscrapers. Really good stuff. Just to give y'all a little more backstory on the trip while we watch the views. So my trip lasted 10 days, and I did it back in May 2025. It consisted of me mostly doing Kyoto, but I also had a day trip in Osaka that was really fun. I plan to go back to Japan really soon as well, or even make it an annual trip for myself. So I got back to the hotel around 7 p.m. and decided to go out and get some food. No idea what I was doing here in the hotel room, so we're gonna blame it on the jet lag. Appreciate it. So then I went outside and wandered the streets of Kyoto to look for food, and I found this chicken place. When I tell y'all I couldn't read shit on that menu, all my years of watching sub-anime had failed me. They had parts of the chicken in there I didn't even know you could cook, gang. I was bewildered and baffled at what they actually had me trying. But I enjoyed it and had a great time for my first night, so no complaints. Now it's time to start day one of the trip with a walk to Family Mart. So this one was legit right next to my hotel, and when I tell y'all I lived in this bit my whole trip, whenever I was running out the hotel in the morning, they always hooked me up with like good Japanese eats like these pancakes. I love them. Now it's off to the subway to start my day and head to my destination. This is what the subways in Japan are like. It reminded me of all the anime I've ever seen. The subways are fairly easy to navigate once you use Google Maps and read the signs. They have things in English and you can ask the workers for directions if you need them. Another thing I loved about Japan's public transportation is they are always on time. If niggas said they're gonna be there at 10 a.m., the doors will be open and closed by 10:01, and the next one gonna come in like 15 minutes. So our first stop today will be the Fushimi Inari Shrine to look at the red torii gates. It's one of the most well-known shrines in Kyoto, and I definitely recommend anybody that visits to go check them out. Now I may butcher some of these pronunciations, but y'all please chill on a nigga. As I got closer to the actual shrine, they had this thing where you could write kanji for different wishes and blessings you want on your own little torii gates and hang it up on this wall, or you can take it home with you. I took mine with me, of course. Now we're off to look at the actual big torii gates. If I'm not mistaken, I think there are 1,000 of them. And it felt kind of magical walking through the gates and going further into the labyrinth. This trip was so much cardio, y'all boys. I was waking up at 8 a.m. every day and walking until 9 p.m. Here I am walking up these hills to another shrine. While I'm walking to the shrine, I can tell y'all a little more about planning the trip. So a lot of people don't know this, but Japan is very affordable. For the whole trip, I only spent about 3K total. That's for flight, hotel, and spending money. The flight was about 1K and the hotel was 600 for 10 days. And now we've made it to the next temple for the day. I swear visiting the temples was always a beautiful time in view. So here we are at the Kiyomizu Temple. I've always seen this temple in anime when they visit Kyoto, and it's a very well-known temple. Here's a picture I took in front of the temple as seen on my IG. One thing I can tell y'all is this is definitely going to be one of my favorite pictures for the next couple of years. So after the temple visit, I do some random shopping, and I end up at this random plaza while I was looking for the stationery store. So I've never been a scrapbook person, but I saw some examples on TikTok and decided I just had to do it for my Japan trip. So I made sure to stop at this store called the Traveler's Factory and get a book I can do it in. I also heard they have books you can use to collect the different stamps around Japan, so I wanted to get one and make it my little mission to collect as much stamps as I could, because they were pretty cool. And now it's time to get some Japanese McDonald's and see what it's hitting on, man. So McDonald's in Japan be having all types of shit I've never seen before, bruh. I was in awe at the different options. Like, they had melon flavored Fanta, bruh. And low-key, it's a top 3 Fanta flavor to me now. I wish we had it in America, honestly. They also had all types of chicken sandwiches I ain't never seen before, but I ended up just getting the spicy one, and that shit was definitely spicy as well. The only thing that blew me in Japan was the portion sizes. A large over there is really like a medium in American standards, and then a small is like a kid-sized drink. It was crazy. I ended up getting a medium one, and that shit was gone in like 4 gulps. But that's how they be staying so slim and healthy, so I get it. And then we ended at the Kyoto Tower Observatory to see the beautiful views of the city at night. So now we're on day whatever number, because I lost track at this point, but this was one of my favorite days by far. So I got to visit the National Kyoto Manga Museum, and if you know me, you know how much I love anime and manga. So it was like a dream come true. So I was excited to get myself drawn as a manga character, done by an actual manga artist. You pick an appointment time and wait for them to call you, but until then you can just wander around the museum. They have a library of almost every manga ever created, and they got them in all types of different languages, so it's inclusive to others. They had manga in French, Spanish, etc. As you can see, they had the classic and bangers like AOT, Dragon Ball, and Tokyo Ghoul. Real Ball Knowers know that's a top 5 manga of all time. And then they even had the slept-on things like Nora Rise the Yokai Clan, which is one of my faves. They also give you the chance to sit down and talk to a real mangaka. I forgot my dog's name, but he was so cool. Even with the language barrier, I was able to have a real convo with him. And as someone who draws in my spare time as well, and I aspire to be a great mangaka myself, it was a great opportunity for me. I even asked him how did he get so good at drawing the anatomy of his characters, and it led to us sitting down and him giving me a lesson on drawing characters right there on the spot. Real good times. So now my appointment time had came up, and it was time to link up with my girl Didi for my drawing. She was really getting to that shit. It came out so good. As you can see, I decided to be a ninja. Naruto ain't got shit on me. I'd obviously be from the Hidden Cloud Village because that's where all the black people are though. After that, I headed to Nishiki Market, which is basically like a grand farmer's market that spans a long alleyway, and it's filled with a bunch of food vendors and stores to get stuff from. It was a really good time to walk through and see all the different things they had. Then I ended up at this magical store. It was my favorite find of the day as well. It's a store that sells art from different anime, and they even have original artworks done by the animation studio. I was ready to drop major yen on them boys, man. They had shit from Naruto and even Tokyo Ghoul. I was so hyped. But I got me a few prints from there and got me some Wendy's app, and that's how I ended the day. Now it's time for the next day. This was my day in nature for real. That's why I got on all the green. So today we are heading to Arashiyama to visit some more temples, take a boat ride, and walk through the bamboo forest. So I had to get on the trolley train. And then here I am collecting more stamps for my book. Today we are visiting Tenryuji Temple. So I came in this little secluded gate so that I can pray. I know y'all see the fit. Yes, sir. But here I am praying in a traditional Japanese fashion. Damn, my lock's kind of long. Now here I am getting ready for the boat ride. The views on the river were so immaculate, dog. It was so peaceful and serene on the water. And the boatman was super cool too. He took us to see the views of the mountain. I want to go back to Kyoto again just to do a longer ride and see the cherry blossoms while in the water this time. After that, I went to the actual temple to check it out and look at the different bamboo forests. Walked around the park a little bit, got me some exercise in. And then I bought this cool gold charm that you can put in your wallet, and it's supposed to bring you great blessings and fortune. And low-key, ever since that day, I've never took it out my wallet. Not gonna lie, I fully believe it works because the blessings have been coming in ever since I came back from Japan, y'all boys. They know what they be doing. Here I am walking through the bamboo forest and looking at other parts of nature. God really was in his bag when he made the landscapes in Japan, man. They never disappoint me. So I ended up taking this train to get back to the main part of Kyoto. It's called the romantic train. So I guess it's for couples or whatever. But the views was really nice. You got to see the same river while we were going down it and stuff. So it was nice. And then I ended the night at this local yakitori spot, and they had some good Japanese fried chicken and rice, y'all boys. I have to go back when I slide back to Japan low-key, because there were some really cool people. This night made me feel like I really lived here in Japan. We was chopping it up about different anime we like, and they were teaching me different words in Japanese to sound like a local. It was a really nice vibe, man. It reminded me of that scene in Kill Bill where Beatrix came to Hattori Hanzo's shop to get a sword made by him. So here I go on the next day, headed to 7-Eleven for the daily morning routine. Gotta stop and get me some good vitamin C, you feel me? And then this was also the day that I discovered that 7-Eleven has a smoothie machine that you could make a smoothie from with the cups that they have in the freezer. So as a smoothie connoisseur, finding this out was another highlight to my trip. Because this is some crazy next level technology. I'm writing a letter to corporate right now to get these in the US, y'all boys. That I got it handled, don't even worry. So this is the fit for today. And we are headed to the Kyoto Samurai and Ninja Museum. So I'm learning samurai sword lessons today. So y'all finna see me practice my form like I'm in Kill Bill. So before my lessons, I ended up taking the tour of the actual museum, and I learned a bunch of cool facts about the samurai. They told us about the actual battle that happened in the show Shogun, and I learned that Hattori Hanzo was a real person. He was one of the greatest ninjas in history, apparently. Now this is where the lessons come in. You see the moves, man. You see how I'm moving? Niggas not moving like me, man. Demon Slayer don't got shit on me. But nah, all jokes aside, the class was really fun and informative. I really enjoyed seeing how samurai move their swords, as well as how they put them away, and I'd recommend anyone to do the classes if they're interested in the culture. Now on to the next day. Y'all boys see the fit? Yes, sir. So today we are gonna head to downtown Kyoto and gonna see some more temples. So here is all of the scenery. Ended up at this small temple and did some more praying. And now I'm at the Yasoka Pagoda. So this is it right here in the background. It was so nice out this day, and the sunset was hitting at the perfect time. After this, I went to get some good eats at this tonkatsu place. I was fucking that rice up low key. Gotta use the traditional chopsticks, you feel me? Then I ended the night with a nice walk around downtown before I head back to the hotel. Now here is the day before my last day here, and we are headed to Osaka, which is about a 1-hour train ride from Kyoto. This was another one of my best fits of the trip, not gonna lie. Probably my favorite, to be honest, so. And while I was in Osaka, I ran into my dog, Jasnique, and we spent half the day together before she went about her day. She got, things to do, people to see. So after this, I headed over to the Umeda Observatory, where you can see all of Osaka from above. I love the views up there. Like, Osaka has so much more skyscrapers than Kyoto, since it's less rural, so it was a nice change of pace. Then I walked around and explored the city some more and got to check out the different districts. I got to see the buildings with neon lights that you usually see in the movies sometimes as well. I heard the nightlife in Osaka is top tier, but I wasn't staying the night, so I didn't get to experience it sadly. But when I come back again, I'm gonna definitely make it on my bucket list. And here I am taking a ride on a river cruise and enjoying the scenery one more time before I leave. Now for the last day, I was on some chill shit and I just visited the Ryo Anji temple so I can see the Zen gardens and shit, real calm vibes, just enjoying and taking it all in one last time. The temples really were one of my favorite places to visit and look at during this whole trip, man. It's just breathtaking, even though it's just like buildings and stuff, but to me it's pretty cool. Then I headed to the mall for some last minute shopping. I had to get some souvenirs for the gang, of course. And just like that, my trip was wrapped up. Hope y'all enjoyed the video so far, and if you stayed until the end, you're a real one. Appreciate you, man. Peace, and I hope y'all get to go to Kyoto soon.